what you're given, that's how we live it. Don't be mad at the system, it's simply how we've existed. I hear a lot of people talk.
Hey guys, today I am with the GOAT himself, the man that I'm with Triple H. What is the best match in the WWE we ever have?
Well, that's a tough question. There have been so many great matches over the years, it's hard to pick just one. But if I had to choose, I would say my match against Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 28 was one of my all-time favorites. It was a great story, with both of us going all out and pulling out all the stops. And the crowd was so into it, it was like nothing else I had ever experienced.
Could you have a match with Austin, The Rock, Mankind, Shawn, Undertaker, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, and any other WWE champion of the past 30 years?
Yes, I think I could. I've had great matches with all of them, and I think it would be a lot of fun to do it again. It would be like a reunion of all the greats, and it would be a lot of fun to see how we've all evolved since our last matches together.
Who was your best enemy in the WWE?
I would have to say The Rock. We had a great rivalry back in the day, and it was always a challenge to face him in the ring. He was a tough opponent, but I was always up for the challenge.
Do you think the best time in the WWE is 200, 3, 2, 0, 0, 5, 5?
I would say that was definitely a great time for the WWE. The product was at its peak, and the roster was stacked with talent. It was a time when the WWE was really pushing the envelope. And
what was your favorite match that you did with Chris Benoit?
That's a tough one. I would have to say my match against Chris Benoit at No Mercy 2004. It was a hard-fought match, and we both gave it our all. It was a great way to end our rivalry, and I think we both left it all out there.
What was your favorite match you did with Booker T?
That would have to be our match at WrestleMania 19. It was a long and hard-fought battle, and we were both going all out to win. We were both exhausted by the end of it, but it was a great match and a great way to start off the night.
What was the best season of WWE Raw you ever remember?
That would have to be the Attitude Era, which ran from 1997 to 2002. It was a time when the WWE was really pushing the envelope and doing things that had never been done before. It was a time of rebellion and controversy, and it was a lot of fun to watch.
Who would you like to have a match with who isn't retired?
That would have to be Brock Lesnar. He's a great athlete and a tough opponent, and I would love to see how we would match up in the ring. We've had a few skirmishes over the years, but I think a full match would be a lot of fun.
What was your reaction when you partnership with Netflix, the very first top, and when the legends came back like Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker? What was your reaction that day on Behind the Scenes?
I was really excited when we announced that we were partnering with Netflix for a documentary about the WWE legends. It was a great opportunity to showcase the history of the WWE and the great talent that has been part of it over the years. It was also a great way to bring back some of the legends and give them a chance to tell their stories. I think it was a really successful project, and it was great to see it all come together.
Who was your favorite manager you had?
That would have to be Paul Heyman. He was always a great motivator, and he really knew how to get the best out of his clients. He was also very good at negotiating deals, and he was always looking out for his clients' best interests. He was a great manager, and I was always glad to have him in my corner.
Are you going to come back in WWE as the leader of Evolution?
I've been working on this for a while, and now it's time to come back.
What was the worst gambit in the WWE when it was fights?
I'd have to say the worst was probably the match between me and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. It was a very controversial ending, and I felt like I didn't get the chance to fully showcase my skills.
No, I was talking about, what was it? The worst gimmick you have on WWE?
Oh, I thought you meant match. The worst gimmick I had was probably when I was the King of Kings. It was just a corny name, and I felt like it didn't fit me.
But you were a great heel after that, and I really like your attitude when you were a heel. So the King of Kings was the best, and he had the best attitude of all the heels. That's why you were my favorite heel.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you like that side of me. It's true that I enjoyed playing a heel, and I felt like it really brought out the best in me as a performer.
Was the time you returned with a broken leg a work or not?
It was a work. I knew I was going to be out for a while, so I wanted to come up with a creative way to explain my absence. The broken leg was just a storyline, and I was able to recover quickly.
Tell me how it feels when you were a heel and you almost kissed Stephanie McMahon and the crowd booed you.
Oh, that was a crazy moment. I was playing the bad guy, and I knew the fans wouldn't like me for it. But when I went in for the kiss and the crowd booed me, I felt like I had accomplished my goal. I knew I was doing my job right, and it was an amazing feeling.
Do you still remember when you was in your old age, but you still had the strength of a 20-year-old?
Yes, I remember that time very well. I was in my mid-40s, but I was still able to compete at a very high level. I had been training hard, and I was determined to prove that I was still one of the best. It was a difficult time, but I'm proud of what I was able to accomplish.
How do you feel about how many people watch your first ever match and how many people are watching it now?
I'm very grateful for the fans who have watched my career from the beginning and continue to support me today. I'm amazed at how much the audience has grown over the years, and it's a testament to how dedicated they are to the sport. I'm thankful for all the love and support I've received over the years, and I hope to continue to entertain them for many more years to come.
Do you still remember when Vince McMahon put you in a match with a handicap tag match against Steve Austin and Shane McMahon and Vince McMahon, and they almost beat you even though you were almost have an opponent?
Yes, I remember that match very well. It was a tough situation because I was outnumbered and I was facing 3 very skilled opponents. But I was determined to not let them beat me, and I fought hard until the very end. It was an intense match, and I'm glad I was able to hold my own against them.
What was your thoughts on Penta's joint role on Netflix? What did you see of him in AEW?
I saw a lot of potential in him. He has the skills, charisma, and presence to be a top star. I was impressed by his athleticism and how he uses his ring skills to his advantage. He has a natural charisma that can draw in the crowd and make them cheer for him. I think he has a bright future ahead of him in professional wrestling.
What is your thoughts on Shawn Spears on NXT? Do you think he's ready for Monday Night Raw for his debut match whenever it is?
Shawn Spears has shown a lot of potential in NXT, and I think he has the talent to be a successful superstar on the main roster. I'm looking forward to seeing him on Monday Night Raw, and I'm excited to see what he can bring.
What about the rivalry between The Undertaker and Kane?
I'll just let them fight each other, and then whoever wins becomes the new WWE champion.
So I have to talk about the new superstar in the world who retired from WWE. How does it feel to see someone like that who left the company?
Well, I can't say I'm not a little bit disappointed, but I understand that people have their own personal reasons for leaving the company. I just hope that he's happy and that he's enjoying his retirement. But I can't help but feel a little bit bitter about the fact that he didn't even tell me he was leaving.
So you know about the Cody Rhodes becoming a WWE superstar again.
Of course, I'm aware of Cody's return. He's a great talent, and I'm sure he'll do great things here. But I'm also not going to lie. I was a little bit surprised when he left the company in the first place. It seems like he had everything he could have wanted here, but he just up and left.
If Rey Mysterio joined AEW today, will you be happy for him just like Edge? Like you left WWE to join the other company?
Well, Rey is a great wrestler, and if he wants to go to AEW, then that's his choice. I'm happy that he's doing what makes him happy. But I'm also sad because I know that I'll be losing a great competitor.
Have you spoken to Edge about it? And Rey might be coming to AEW the same night as Edge. If you would like to come to AEW,
Edge and Rey have been 2 of my closest friends for a long time, and I would be happy to see them in AEW. But I don't want to interfere with their decisions, so I'm just going to wait and see what happens.
is there a possible, a big return was just say Sting, return to WWE? What's your...
Well, Sting is a legend, and his return to WWE would be a huge deal. I'm sure we would have something special planned for him. But I can't reveal any details at this point, because I want the moment to be a surprise.
Who go to Hall of Fame this year? Did you pick anybody? If you did, who did your hand pick for 2026 or 2027 for Hall of Fame this year? Do you think Mike Tyson will come back to WWE anytime soon, or are you happy to see him on boxing?
This year's Hall of Fame is going to be a great one. I can't reveal any details yet, but I can tell you that there are some very deserving people who will be inducted. As for Mike Tyson, he's a great guy, and he's always welcome back in WWE. but we're happy to see him in boxing too.
What is the best things about being the CEO? What is the worst things about being the CEO?
The best part about being the CEO is being able to make a difference in the wrestling world. I'm able to make decisions that can have a big impact on the business, and I'm proud to be able to do that. The worst part is that it can be very stressful at times.
Did you speak to Vince McMahon about your future in WWE? Are you planning to return to wrestling?
I did speak to Vince, and I told him that I'm happy with where I am in WWE. I've been with the company for over 30 years, and I've done everything I can for it. I don't see myself returning to in-ring competition at this point, but I'm still a part of the team, and I'm here to help.
Who are the most surprise return to WWE at WrestleMania 39, and why is it Goldberg or Kurt Angle?
Goldberg and Kurt Angle are both huge names who have had a big impact on WWE history. I can't say who I think will return at WrestleMania 39, but I can say that I'm excited for whoever it is. It's always great to see a
W, is your thoughts? Wyatt 6 with Bo Dallas and the other crew, what thoughts? Ted DiBiase Jr., is there any rumors that he will return to WWE, or is he still banned from WWE?
Wyatt 6 is a group of up-and-coming talent who are really making a name for themselves. They're all young and talented, and they're doing great things for the company. Ted DiBiase Jr. is a former WWE superstar who had a great run, but he is not currently under contract with the company.
Is there a chance we will see King of Kings return in ring for the future of WWE?
The King of Kings is one of the most iconic wrestlers in history, and he's still a big part of WWE. I can't say for sure if he'll return to the ring, but I'm sure he'll always be involved in some.
What is your favorite moment that you're in ring in WWE?
That's a tough one, but I'd have to say my favorite moment was probably when I won the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 22. It was a huge moment for me, and it was one of the most important victories of my career.
What's your side? That CM Punk's son with you when he left AEW, he came back to WWE.
Yes, he has rejoined the WWE. It was a great surprise to everyone when he walked out at SummerSlam. He has been in talks with the WWE management for quite some time now.
What is your honest opinion about Brock Lesnar and your other opinion about, I forgot this guy's name, but we thought Adam Cole?
Brock Lesnar is one of the most dominant wrestlers in the WWE. His size and strength are unmatched, and he has a reputation for being a fierce competitor. He has won many championships and has been a consistent draw for fans. Adam Cole is another talented wrestler who has been gaining a lot of attention lately. He has a unique style and a strong following of fans. Both of these wrestlers are
you excited for JBL returning on Netflix for like one plane? Do you think he's going to wrestle or do commentary only, or do you think about this?
I'm excited to see JBL return to the WWE. He's a great wrestler and a beloved figure in the wrestling community. I'm not sure what his plans are for his return, but I'm hoping he'll get back in the ring and give us some great matches. He's a natural on the mic as well, so I'm sure he'll have something interesting to.
Who was the worst gentleman that you hired so far?
I would say that the worst gentleman I hired was the Big Show. He was a complete disaster from the start. He was late to work, he had a bad attitude, and he was always arguing with the other wrestlers. He also had a terrible work ethic and didn't take his job seriously.
What do you do on, you spell Tom, what is your favorite place to eat?
My favorite place to eat is actually a small Italian restaurant in Brooklyn. It's called Mario's, and they have the best pasta dishes. I also love their tiramisu for dessert.
If you were to get any title back from the dead, who would it be?
That's a tough one. There are so many great titles that have been retired over the years. But if I had to choose, I would say the WWF Intercontinental Championship. It was such a prestigious title and it meant so much to the fans. I think it would be great to see it come back and have a new generation of wrestling.
What is your favorite promotion of all time?
That's another tough one. I have a lot of respect for all the promotions in the industry, but if I had to pick one, I would say the WWE. It's been around for a long time and has produced some of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I think it's the standard that all other promotions strive to reach.
How many times have you changed the name of your company?
The name of my company has actually changed a few times. When I first started out, it was called WWF, but then it became WWE because of a trademark dispute. Then we changed the name to World Wrestling Entertainment, and now we just call it WWE. So it's gone through a few different names over the years, but the core of the company has always been the same.
What's the worst injury that you ever had?
I've had my fair share of injuries over the years, but I would say the worst one was when I broke my leg during a match. It was a really bad break, and it took a long time to heal. I was out of action for several months, and it was really tough to deal with the pain and the frustration of not being able to wrestle.
If you were to travel back in time and give advice to the younger version of yourself, what would it be?
That's a great question. I think if I could travel back in time and give advice to my younger self, it would be to take care of my body and not push it too hard. I would tell myself to not overtrain and to make sure I got enough rest and recovery time. I would also tell myself to not take on too much at once and to focus on one thing at a time. I think that if I had taken better care of myself back then, I would have been able to have a longer career and avoid some of the injuries I've had.
Where did your nickname, The Game, come from?
The nickname, The Game, was given to me by my former boss, Vince McMahon. He saw my dedication and my work ethic, and he said that I was like a player in a game, always looking for an edge and always trying to find the right strategy to win. He said that I was a master at the game of wrestling, and that's how I got the nickname.
What was your reaction when you first found out you were going to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame?
It was an incredible moment for me. I was shocked and overwhelmed with emotions when I found out that I was going to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. It's such an honor, and it's something that I never thought would happen to me. I was so grateful for the opportunity, and I felt like I had achieved something really special. It was a moment that I will never forget.
What was the last match you lost, and why did you lose it?
The last match I lost was at WrestleMania 32 against Roman Reigns. I was actually on my way to a victory when I suffered a knee injury and had to tap out. It was a very disappointing loss for me, but I had to accept that I couldn't continue in the match. It was a tough moment, but I've learned to accept losses. And
Who is your favorite superstar, and who is your favorite women's star that you work with?
That's a tough question. My favorite superstar would have to be The Undertaker. He's one of the most iconic and memorable wrestlers in WWE history. And my favorite women's star is Sasha Banks. She's a skilled and charismatic performer who always delivers great matches.
You said you have someone coming back to Raw tonight. Who is it?
You'll just have to wait and see. It's a surprise for the fans. I'm not going to spoil the surprise before the show, but I can tell you that it's someone who is very popular and loved by the WWE universe.
Who came out with your theme song and who wrote the idea of it with your Hunter Hearst Helmsley, 1997?
That's a great question. My theme song, King of Kings, was written by Jim Johnston, who is the composer for WWE. It was the perfect song to match my dominant, confident persona, and it has been a favorite of fans for years.
Who made the idea of your theme song? Who wrote the idea of your Hunter Hearst Helmsley theme song in 1997?
That would be me. I composed it and wrote the lyrics myself.
Was the song Who is the Rock in 2001 and 2002? Why you allowed them to play your song?
Well, I have to admit that I was quite surprised when I heard The Rock using my theme song, but I also have to respect the fact that he had a very unique way of using it. He really made it his own, and I think he did a great job, so I just let it go.
Can you confirm this for me? This is live event. Do you remember? Chris Jericho almost got arrested on WWE when he got suspended.
I do remember the incident you are referring to. It was a very difficult situation for everyone involved. Chris was a talented performer, but he had a lot of issues with his personal life that he was struggling to control. He was suspended for a while, and it was a very...
Are you happy he's in AWE? If he could resign with WWE, would you give him a proper push that he deserves?
I would be delighted to have him back in the WWE and to give him the push he deserves. He has always been a great competitor and a fan favorite. I know we would be able to build a great storyline around him and create something special.
Do you have any animal? Well, so this picture right here, do you remember this when you took a picture of MJF Holden, a WWE World Champion? I know he was a security guard for Samoa Joe, but...
I do remember that picture. It was taken a long time ago, when MJF was just starting his career. He has come a long way since then, and is now one of the most popular wrestlers in the world. He has always been a passionate and driven individual, and I have no doubt that he will continue to be successful in whatever he does.
If he could have came back to WWE, I know you couldn't really give him the whole storyline that he wanted, but if he was to resign with WWE, what would you do with him?
If MJF was to return to the WWE, I would definitely have a lot of ideas for him. He has the potential to be a major player in the WWE, and I would want to utilize his skills and charisma to the fullest. I would create a storyline that would highlight his strengths and allow him to showcase his talents in the ring. I would also want to give him a strong and powerful persona that would make him a real threat to the other top stars in the company.
Do you think Bad Bunny will come back to WWE anytime soon? What do you think about this? If he did come back, for example, what's your plans with him?
Bad Bunny has been a great asset to the WWE, and we would love to have him back. He's a charismatic performer and a talented athlete, and he would certainly be a welcome addition to our roster. As for what we would do with him, we have a number of ideas for his return, including a possible match against a top star or a run as a tag team partner. We'll have to wait and see what he has in store, but we're excited to have him back.
One more question for you. I'm going to wrap this up. But what is your future plans? Netflix now, since still a partnership with them.
We have a number of projects in the works with Netflix, including several new series and documentaries. Our goal is to continue to build our brand and expand our reach, and we believe that our partnership with Netflix is a key part of that. We're also excited about our upcoming projects, which include a series about the history of WWE, a docuseries on our female superstars, and a reality competition show. We're confident that these projects will be successful and further establish our presence in the stream.
One final question. Do you think you're willing to partner up with Vince McMahon or Stephanie McMahon to go back to the 90s era?
It's certainly an interesting idea. The 90s were a great time for wrestling, and I have a lot of respect for Vince and Stephanie's contributions to the industry. However, I also believe that it's important to keep moving forward and creating new stories and characters. So while I'm open to the idea of revisiting the past, I would also like to focus on the present and the future.
I am Donald Trump. This is Triple H. What amazing interview we did. You're going to see you guys in the next video. Comment down below on the other video or the Squid Game video who you want me to interview next. Then I would do it. Bye.